Hong Kong's economy seen contracting in 2022 as GDP disappoints. Economists downgraded their forecasts for Hong Kong's economic system, predicting it could agreement for the 0.33 time in 4 years, after facts Monday showed growth as being weighed down by way of COVID regulations and a droop in exchange. Goldman Sachs Group Inc. expects gross home product to decline 0.5% in 2022, down from an in-advance prediction of 0.3% boom. Economics now sees GDP shrinking 0.6% compared with a previous projection of 0.7% expansion. The downgrades comply with Monday's worse-than-expected records showing the economy reduced in size 1.4% inside the 2D quarter from a year earlier. While a few relief is predicted for Hong Kong within the 2D 1/2, the restoration is uncertain given the drag on demand and alternate from COVID restrictions domestically and in mainland China. Growth momentum is likewise coming beneath strain as Hong Kong increases interest rates in step with the hawkish Federal Reserve to keep the local dollars pegged to American dollar. The economic system shrank in 2019 while the city turned into engulfed via political protests, and in 2020 amid the outbreak of the pandemic. What economics say? Hong Kong's weaker-than-expected 2Q GDP consequences spotlight the demanding situations nevertheless going through the economic system. A faster recovery calls for in addition reopening, but growing COVID cases have complex that. Slowing external demand and higher interest fees aren't assisting either. Given the weak point of the 2Q numbers, we now see GDP shrinking 0.6% in 2022, worse than the 0.7% enlargement we forecast in advance. Eric Zhu, economist financial secretary Paul Chan said on Sunday that the city would necessarily revise down its full-year increase forecast of 1%-2% inside the center of the month. A town spokesperson stated on Monday that the restoration had been held return through factors including disruptions to shipment among Hong Kong and mainland China, a resurgence in COVID-19 instances, tightening economic coverage, and inflation in advanced economies. Citigroup Inc. economists diminished their full-year increase forecasts for Hong Kong by a full percent point, predicting expansion of simply 0.5%. Domestic demand is predicted to be curbed within the second 1/2 by means of developing COVID instances and persevered uncertainties across the timing of Hong Kong's border reopening with mainland China and fears of world recession, they wrote in a note. Hong Kong is one of the ultimate places within the world that has stuck to social distancing measures for COVID and quarantine regulations for inbound tourists, which has held lower back tourism and tour to the metropolis. While a few restrictions in the town have been eased from April, retail income and exports were slow to bounce back. Copyright 2022 LP.